Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Slipways. It's been a little while, but I figured the game has just had a pretty significant update. A lot of stuff's been rebalanced. They put in the second part of the campaign, and under normal circumstances, we would have leapt right back into series mode on this because I love this game. But I'm trying to burn through a bunch of stuff that came out this year before I try to do some kind of game of the year thing. So sadly, this has had to be relegated to the back burner. But I have a moment here today, and I thought, hey, we have time for a game. We can play a game. We can remind everybody that this wonderful, excellent game exists while there is still time to buy it at a pretty slight discount in the Steam Winter Sale. Listen, it's not a lot of saved money, but it's still saved money. You could buy a candy bar with that. So it has been a little while, and I'm probably a little rusty. Okay, there we go. Good. But let's do it. Let's get in here and play a reasonable ranked run. So the top score for this week is 61,000, which is not a score that I think I have ever gotten. Probably we're not going to be setting any world records here. But yeah, this is the thing. If you're not familiar with the game, don't worry. We'll explain it here. It's really not that complicated. It's complex, but it's not complicated. That's what I would say. So planets need one additional trade route to become prosperous. That is a nightmare. That seems like such a bad thing. And then planets receiving 2 resource units for one of their needs get extra income. Planets that aren't oversupplied get less income. Okay, I see how it goes. Let's get in here and do the thing. So at the beginning of any given game of Slipways, you're going to create your council by selecting 3 of these 5 factions. Each one comes with a selection of technologies you'll be able to research over the course of the game, and a couple of perks that you can choose from. So you pick 3 factions, you pick 2 perks from between the lot of them, and then you just go build a great big galactic economic empire. It's like a 3x game. It's in a lot of ways it's similar to a 4x, but there's no combat. And combat, as we all know, starts with an X. So who's looking good here? The Dender do not have their thing that makes planets more prosperous more easily. That's a shame. Well, I don't even really know what I'm looking for here. I'm so out of practice. Also, apologies. Seems like my housemates have begun conducting some sort of large-scale combat trial in the other room. So apologies if that comes through on the mics. Fusion plants are good. Geo-harvesting is... I like harvest a lot on the higher difficulties. I find it's not usually necessary on reasonable because you can usually get your income to a place where you don't need all that extra money. I mean, it's still good for getting planets out of the way, I suppose. Teleporters are okay. Here, I like quantum sensors. That's a good one. They did change quantum computing a little bit, so now you have to pay for it per laboratory, and it increases the laboratory's upkeep costs, but it's still probably very good. And then you have mineralize. You have the ability to move planets around in space, which is going to have some serious consequences. Honestly, this seems maybe okay. I don't really know what else I want. So if we have access to the monoliths, then gosh, it sure would be nice to have a lot of minerals. Yeah, okay, maybe this is the play. Integrated manufacturing plus joint factories means you basically never have to make a thing produce chips. You will have enough chips, which I actually really like because I always forget to make those and then I need them desperately. So we're going to take joint factories for that purpose. And scientific fleet, just a little bit of science in the early game can be very valuable, especially to set up your quantum sensors. And yeah, with that, let's go slip away, shall we? So here's the core idea of the game. You are the governor of this area for 25 years. As you can see up here, it is January 3401, 25 years until the end of this run. Everything you do in the game, or pretty much everything you do in the game, costs time. We're going to start by sending out a probe from the wormhole here, and it's going to take 1 month for us to get the data from the probe. And we have all of these subspace signals. We have detected there's probably something over here. The size of the circle determines how likely it is that it is actually something. These little ones, probably nothing, and if they are something, it's probably like an asteroid. These big ones, pretty likely to be a world. So let's just have a quick look here. That also cost us 3 space dollars. We have quite a few to begin with. And so you can see each different world can be turned into a different kind of factory, essentially. You always make a world produce a single kind of resource. You devote it to a single industry. So it has inputs that it requires, outputs that it creates, and it will cost us money every year. But if we can connect it to other worlds that are producing the things that it needs or that need the things that it produces, we'll produce trade income and hopefully end up positive on all that. Hopefully end up not just hurling money into space forever. But I feel like we need more information before we go making any big decisions. So slowly we are accumulating science thanks to our perk. We will also set up some laboratories at some point. This is looking like a place where we can set up like an initial loop. So we're going to turn this arid world into a colony planet. It's going to require water because it's very dry, and also food because, workers need that. And then we're going to have to get those things in here. So fortunately, I happen to know that we can send workers to a primordial world to extract water from that place. Get ourselves a little two-way traffic going, and you can see the little freighters. And then we need some food, which we can get from this swamp world. Actually, I should probably figure out exactly what these other signals are first. How do I want to do this? Obviously, in terms of money and time efficiency, you want to be hitting as many real signals as possible. But also, at some point, we have to figure out what this is. So I'm gonna fire this. Okay, it's an ocean world. We could have gotten our water from there too, and mayhaps should have. I started making decisions before having all the information. These things happen. Here, we'll probe this out too. Okay. Not a lot of terribly useful information. So over time, you just get to know the worlds by sight and the things that they do. Forge worlds produce complex mechanical products. Jungles and swamps can produce food and biomass, and we just don't ask a lot of questions about what's in the biomass. But I think we're going to use this remnant world. We're going to send people here to scavenge robots, ruins of the Forebear Empire, advanced technology, etc. You know the trope. Ooh, but before we do anything else, the council has some tasks for us. So the Vittori would like us to improve our yearly science output, the Bakar would like us to discover new planets, and the Silthids would like us to improve the effectiveness of our Forge worlds. So, Forge worlds are these ones. In addition to the immediate reward that we'll earn here, each faction, if I hit postpone, can I see this? Yeah. Each faction has rewards for doing progressively more complicated quests for them. And it looks like there's some new stuff here in regards to that. Gain access to the Vittori Galactic University. Do they all have... Oh, neat. Okay, well that's cool. So yeah, we're gonna get quests. We're gonna do economics here. I think this sounds real easy. We gotta pick 2 of these. I'm not in a big hurry to build a lab, but I suppose with the amount of water we're producing here, we could lab really early. Yeah, you know what? We'll take those. I can get those done. We're gonna finish setting up our loop here first, though. So send robots to the wetland farm to produce food efficiently. Food helps us produce more people. There we go. And in fact, this planet would be happier if it had some more water income. So you can see there's a variety of levels of economic success here. We've managed to move this world up to established. Worlds start at struggling when they don't have their incomes. Once you get the basic incomes, they become established, which is the little gray symbol. If we can feed the planet at least one of each thing it needs and make sure that we have enough of its resources being sent out and used elsewhere, then it becomes successful, which gives us even more trade income, and eventually it can become prosperous. Although it's a valuable thing, but it's also a long road. We'll get there. I think we're gonna rig up that lab real fast. So we want to turn this world into a water export place. Yeah. We'll connect you to here. Then we can build this structure. So now I have to think ahead a little bit. If we put the lab like hereabouts, we can potentially get water from this world in the future to run out to here. We can research even more water. With labs, what you want to do is send a bunch of the same resource to the lab. I am noticing a problem, though. There's a slight hole in my plan, which is that we've run out of people to use as researchers. All right, one problem at a time. Hold on, let me connect these. So the way a lab works is, well, it'll show us the actual rates when I have a researcher sent in. So in order to reach successful and produce one extra body, this world needs goods. We can make goods at the Forge world here, but unfortunately, both of the options that make goods require income of resources that we do not have available. Is there anything over here? No, there's nothing over here that can produce robots or minerals. And unfortunately, slipways cannot be drawn across each other, as you can see. The freighters have no brakes or steering logic. It has to be straight lines. Yeah. What we could do, and what I think we're going to do, is we're just going to make this a robots to goods factory and trust that I will figure it out later. This is maybe not the, the most ideal strategy, but it's probably true. I probably will figure out a way to get robots over here. Let me see here. What do we have in our future? I mean, at the very least, eventually we will unlock a relay structure that allows us to like bounce a slipway around. So I am just going to go ahead and do this. Robots make goods. For most worlds, they are producing a single unit of their output while they're in the struggling state. So you can just kind of do this. And look at that. 3 science per year, which completes our task. So, after you establish the initial researcher resource pair, you get 1 science for that, and then you get 2 additional science for each of the resource you send in, and 1 additional science for each additional researcher. Now we need to discover 4 more worlds to finish this task, and once we finish our tasks, they will... Okay, wow, that really worked. Once we finish our tasks, they will offer us some more here. So... invent 2 new technologies is going to be really easy. We're about to invent one right now. Yeah, this can happen. Increase the total production of minerals by 9 units. That's a lot of mineral worlds. Let's try this one. We're going to have a hard time doing that too. Yeah, these are challenging. But there's some value to getting the first tier in with everybody really quickly. Once you've done at least 1 mission for a faction, when you encounter events at these like space stations, each faction has certain solutions that they can contribute. So it's a good idea to commit yourself to everyone a little bit right away. Well, okay, I have a plan. This should work, right? So we go... No, this is going to be weird. I was thinking we would maybe make this a colony. On an ocean world, a colony requires additional minerals for the construction of, you know, I assume underwater habitation, something. Look, there's a good reason. But so send people here for the minerals, right? We get a two-way trade going there, and then use this planet to produce the food. But an Arctic farm, yeah, this is going to be tricky because we can't use this world to produce robots to send here to get food unless we can get some minerals to that world, and we need to build a pathway from here to send food. So everything's bouncing all around here. It's possible that there'll be a source of minerals further north than this. But if we do it this way, then we can send researchers from this world, and we could also send a worker from here to produce water and biomass. The biomass goes to this world to help with food production, and the water goes to the water lab. Okay, let's invent our first technology. We've accumulated 4 science just from our perk, which gives us science when we discover worlds. Let's increase all of our scan radii by 40%. And then I'm actually just I'm going to fire this. Let's just make this a bots factory. And then we're going to look around. So you can see our probes are 40% more effective here. I was really hoping for a mineral world, like in this position. That would have been really nice. Well, what about over here? Nothing. That's pretty brutal. Well, we can still do workers make minerals, minerals make robots, but then we're talking about having to get the food to this planet some other distant way. Like, yeah, I don't know where that would come from. Are these worlds over here? Oof. Slipways do have a maximum effective distance, so... Alright, well, let's modify the plan a little bit then. What if... This world's producing as many people as it ever will? Yeah. Okay, what if this is the people world? This doesn't allow us to get extra water to the lab, which is a shame, but I think it's still probably worth doing. So we make this a people world. On an Earth-like world, all you need is food to produce humans. I should say workers, because our faction is our empire is probably made up of all of the different factions peoples, right? So then we connect the minerals to here. We don't have a source of biomass easily. We might be able to find one or manufacture one, potentially. There we go. That'll solve the problem. So, an Arctic farm. Robots and biomass produce food together. Okay. Achievements. Hooray. So we can get biomass from this world. Look at that. Everything's all connected. And we can do this. And actually, hold on. Do I want to do that? Because I'm thinking another person here. Yeah, I mean, what I really want to do is just I want to make this world needs to be receiving goods. Then we get an extra body because I want to send a worker here and a worker here. This world will be successful because it has all of its outputs going. If it can just get one more import route. Also, we've actually produced quite a lot of science here. Unlocks the hybrid hatchery on primordial swamp and jungle planets. A way of producing robots with biomass. That's interesting. On primordial planets. Well, we may in fact have a solution for producing robots here. Robots are a pain. You always need a ton of them. A lot of the good food production things require robots. So yeah, maybe we should go this way. We set up a couple of robot worlds really quickly. Also, as we research more technologies, we expand into greater tech tiers, which will give us access to even cooler stuff. I think I am going to pick this up. I think biohybrids is going to be relevant for us this game. And inventing a second technology will clear this mission and get us 8 more science immediately. What a reward. So, what are we looking for next? The mineralize action, allowing us to use Ice Ball and Lava Worlds, which are otherwise useless, is certainly compelling. I should note, though, that this Tier 2 stuff is really, really good. 2 extra science per year from every laboratory, and there's an upgrade to this that makes it even more effective. Chip output on any planet producing minerals. Most fancy high-tech production facilities will require chips to upgrade their levels. And then this one just lets you move planets around in space. You just get a big claw ship that can just pick up a planet and drag it somewhere, which has a lot of value. I think I am going to do this. We're going to connect this here. That's going to produce an additional unit of water, which can be sent there. Is that all the water that'll ever produce? It is. I am now wondering if maybe I should actually send the water here. So, if we had a source of food over here somewhere, and we don't, but we kind of can, right? Like if we get the ability to move planets and we just like shove this ocean world so that this thing's not in the way, we can use the robots from here to produce food on that world, which would allow us to set up a colony on this world. Maybe. It might be a little bit of a challenge. And we're talking about developing a technology that costs 27 science. We've been getting some windfalls here, but remember, we only have like 3 actual durable science per turn, so that's a problem we need to fix. We also have to get a Forge World to successful. So we would like chips in and robots out here is what is going to be required if we're just going to focus on our missions. And, you know, that's maybe a good idea. Well, we can definitely do robots out in a useful way. Yeah, actually, here, let's set this up. So we can do a colony here using the food we already have, some water from this ocean world, and then we can have this Forge World do robots make goods. There we go. So that makes that world pretty successful. Send an extra import over to here. And then we can approach these ruins. So you can explore Forebear Ruins by connecting them to any planet that has active population on it. This looks like an automated matter replication facility. Once rebuilt and supplied, it could be used to create matter of various types. Oh, that's really interesting. So we can turn it into a mineral chip producer, or we can have it make lots of robots or lots of minerals out of robots or minerals. And you can see each of the options here is associated with a particular faction, and we can't actually do the Silthid one at the moment because we haven't accomplished any tasks for them. It is a shame that this Slipway is cutting this off from over here, so we could really use those chips. Okay. We're going to need chip production. And our plan for chip production can absolutely be integrated manufacturing. Just set this up, establish it here, it sends a chip out there, and then that's successful. We should talk now probably about the next level. So above successful is prosperous. It's pretty hard to get to prosperous. A world needs ordinarily 6 imports or six total imports plus exports. That number has been bumped to 7 because of that quirk of this sector that we saw on the run select screen. And then it also has to have an active trade route with at least 3 other planets that are successful or prosperous. Getting to 7 imports and exports is pretty non-trivial. Don't know exactly how we're going to do that. So we also need some more labs, right? I need to up our rate of science income because some of our solutions are going to require some higher level technologies here. Let me see something. Can this world... Okay, this world can feed this world. So, we can do food to here, producing people, people to here to produce biomass, and then do the hybrid hatchery here, biomass to robots, to produce the robots necessary to make this world not struggling anymore. So that's a thing that we that we will do at some point. We could maybe set up a biomass lab over here. We have spare population and a spare resource, and this world really wants an export, right? Yeah. So, is there another world over here somewhere that could produce biomass for me? Yeah, there is. Okay, I like that. Let's set up another lab. Okay, we'll do it like this. Export people. Okay, there we go. Flips this world to successful, gets us another one of those, and that means this world actually has all of the exports and imports that it needs, and it has 2 successful neighbors. If we can flip this world, or I guess this world, to yellow, then we are all set. We will have our first prosperous world, which generates a ton of extra money. We haven't had to worry about money too much so far. I have done, I think, an okay job of managing our trade routes here. The most important thing is to just get some worlds upgraded as quickly as possible. Okay. So now that we've got that stuff worked out, we still need to figure out how we're going to get chips over here, and I don't really have a plan for that, or we need to pick another Forge world and make it happy somehow. We can provide robots to this world, but after we've done that, it's going to want chips, and we're going to need 2 worlds to output goods to, and it doesn't necessarily seem... Yeah, we're not going to get that for free, that's for sure. Can this world... Okay, that's interesting. So we can produce... If we make this the green stuff world, biomass here, using people from there in this world, you can see here that trade route is possible. Then biomass makes robots on this world. We can send out 2 units of robots to these 2 worlds. We can make this world into a colony, and we have a source of biomass that we're already producing nearby, and a colony could absorb a 2nd unit of goods. Like, this world isn't that far from being successful. Hey, this one's so close, but there's just... How much more science do we need? Okay, so we actually only need 1 more year of science to just make this one successful, because we'll do that integrated manufacturing. So I guess I don't need to stress about this too much. We will complete this objective at the beginning of next year. So what else do we want to do? We could do anything else. Well, let's see if we can make this a goods producer, because it would be really cool if we could get this world flipped to successful. Are there sources for... kind of. This is a little awkward. So way over here we have a remnant world that can produce minerals or robots, which we could use to feed one of these worlds producing goods. But the problem with that is this world is too far away to be supplied by Yule 7. So we need to set up another worker world somewhere closer to this, probably like here or something. And then we have to do the whole cycle again, right? Where we secure the basic resources and here, let's do this thing. We know we plan on doing this thing. So this is the bacteria breeding world. Here we do a colony. Here we do hybrid hatchery. Organic material can serve just as well as metal for making machines. Again, we encourage you not to think too hard about what's happening. Okay, integrated manufacturing. So feed robots, feed robots. Hooray, look how happy all these worlds are. We could really use some damn chips around here. Let's go in here and install the integrated manufacturing product or program. This is going to create an extra export route for this world immediately, so it'll flip to successful. Which is very cool. Get 2 more Forge worlds to successful. Jeez. Y'all don't ask for much. I mean, now that we have integrated manufacturing, it is theoretically possible for us to produce chips more easily. If we take this, it'll be a while before we fulfill this, but the reward of discounting a third of our technology is definitely significant. There's also these things here. These little blue things are prestige, I think, or renown or something like that. And they convert to victory points at the end of the game. So every mission we complete is increasing our score by some relatively significant amount. Missions are important. I gotta be honest with you. I feel like we need minerals really badly. So why don't we just go for this? And then it'll take a while for us to get to 3 new techs, but I think it's more certain than 2 more Forge worlds getting to successful. We were straining to get 1. Now that we have done a task for them, we can use their option at the replicator. Worth noting, turning this thing into a mineral replication facility would make it really, really easy to accomplish this goal. So let's take a quick look over here. Are there mineral producing worlds near that station? Maybe. Yes, that does reach. Okay. Well, I think we better make that happen. So, how are we going to do that? We're going to need to send workers to it. Let's start by just doing that. Let's start by marking it as a mine, because once we have it settled, we can use it as a base to fire more probes. Just kind of figure the area out a little bit more. Okay, so how do we want to work this? Obviously, we could do people here. Can you reach... no slipway from there to there because of the gravity well of Genera 8. That's complicated. So my thinking here is that we're going to use this world to produce minerals. We're going to send minerals to here to produce way more minerals, and then we're going to use this this chain to produce a mineral research facility. We're going to set up a third lab. Labs can be set to research minerals, water, biomass, chips, or robots, and they all require researchers. So we're going to have to get some bodies in here as well. If we do... I mean, that could work. This is a primordial world and cannot host life directly. Nobody lives on a primordial world. If we do this, how am I going to get food? We don't have a food world nearby. We've kind of a similar issue here. And like we can do the multi-purpose factory there and use the robots in theory to produce food somewhere. Looks like we're not getting a path between these two worlds. So the distance must be just a little bit too far. How are we going to make food happen? All right, well, you know what? I'm going to do this. I do feel like this is pretty necessary. That gets us to 5 of 8 on that tech. I think that's pretty good. We could take this one and just hope. Because, you know, there may be food worlds out here. I think I'm in hope mode. Boy, there's not much of anything out here, actually. Oh, no. Oh, no, none of these worlds can produce food. Okay. Things are not so dire. Sorry, that's not the button. A question. How do I position this? Okay. Technology. So I think the next tech we should pick up is quantum computing, allowing us to run 2 extra science out of each of our labs. With 3 labs up, this will be like getting an additional laboratory without, you know, the hassle of setting it up. So we can just do chips right out of here. Does this world... Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. If we make this world a multi-purpose factory, then it will produce the chips that this world needs to live and the robots that we need to generate food from this world. Unfortunately, then we need to get minerals in to feed this somehow, and I don't know how we're going to do that. But the answer to that question may once again be, we'll just figure it out later. I really, really, really love the multi-purpose factory. It's a wonderful thing. So, this world wants more people outputs. This world wants water input. So I think we're going to turn this into a water extraction world real quick and just run that, make stuff successful. Okay. Quantum computing enables a project to be built on your laboratory that increases its output by 2 science, but sadly also increases its monetary upkeep. Right now, we're doing just fine. We get a little bit low on money toward year end, but I think we can afford to run this project everywhere. All right, and that'll help accelerate, obviously, our goal of researching more technologies. Okay. So, next problems. We could potentially get a lot of science out of this lab. Like if this was also a people-producing world, we can make minerals produce. Yeah, we could produce minerals around here, and that might be a thing worth pursuing. Let's see. Plus, we want to make one more mineral production world to finish this tech. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Can you reach the lab? Okay, so we go like colony, mineral production. That gets us there. 60 immediate dollars and 2 immediate science. So for 20 science, we can research an increase to the output of that other science project, and I think we probably oughta. And now we're on plus 20 science per year. All of a sudden, our science is very good. So chips, robots make food, and it just so happens we have another world right here producing biomass to solve that problem. Look at that. Beautiful. And then we may as well run the other researcher here as well, right? We are never going to be able to send goods to this world in any way, but, you know, it's okay. Oh, while I wasn't paying attention, we flipped enough stuff around here. Oh, right. We made this successful. So this world did flip over to prosperous, which has a couple of really important effects. First of all, trade income, really solid. Secondly, prosperity. Prosperity creates happiness in this. Let's not get into any real world economic anything, shall we? The simple version of the economic system in this game is prosperity directly equals happiness, plus 3 happiness. At the end of the game, we are going to receive our happiness as a multiplier on our total score. So if our happiness is sub 100, it will reduce our score. If it is north of 100, it will increase our score. Obviously, this is tremendously important. We care a great deal about it. And the number one way of making sure that you are not losing happiness is making sure all of your worlds are actually receiving the resources that they are asking for to not be struggling. So like right now, this world is creating 4 unhappiness on us. We have some other worlds that did have resource shortages that are coming around. This world is at -7. Each unemployed unit of population also produces an unhappiness. So that's a thing we got to fix. Also, I didn't do this. Oh, interesting. So, ooh, flexible fabrication I think is the thing we really want. If we had flexible fabrication, this world could produce goods to send to that world. Same deal here. Yeah, I like that quite a bit. Right now it costs 25. But yeah, since we're going to take it, let's just go ahead and... A scientific archive. Okay, cool. So we'll invent that for 15. That'll finish this technology. Get 2 more Forge World planets to successful. Improve science output by another 8 points is tricky at this point. I guess if we built another lab that was as good as this one, that way it would get that job done. That's pretty good though. 3 relevant resource and 2 people in. Or increase total production of minerals by another 10 units. This seems excessive to me. It's probably not actually that many mineral worlds, but we can probably make this happen. At this point, we've got way more tools for figuring things out. And then, do I want to commit to this? I am curious about the university. Yeah, okay, let's try it. So, we are going to create this repurposing project, which is going to send goods to that world and immediately make it successful. That rules. Let's do the same thing up here. Oh, actually, we're not going to be able to. The world has to be at least established. We have to get minerals in before we can do that. Are there any... Okay, there is a mineral producing world within range. No, it is not within range. I lied. Well, we may have to engage in some serious shenanigans on this one. It might be the case that our next technology is the relay. And we'll just bounce minerals up from somewhere else. So, what do we do next? This Forge World has 2 exports, so it becomes successful if it just gets 1 more mineral. These Forge Worlds over here are pretty close as well. Yeah, if this one could just get chips in. We gotta find chips around here somewhere anyway. Oh, that's a shame. Can't run a slipway from here to there. Well, here, we can make this a scrapping operation. And then use that to produce the multi-purpose thing here. Oh, this is not a Forge World. This is still a thing we had to do because we needed to fix this planet. These asteroids here can be blown up to provide material resources to all nearby worlds. We have not needed the money, but it is a good source of money. Yeah, sorry. This is a Forge world. I'm so unused to primordial worlds being able to produce robots. This is a really cool thing. Let's have a quick look around over here for sources of food. We should fix this world's supply problem. So this world can produce food, but it needs biomass in addition to robots. This world can produce food, but it needs biomass, not robots. This is a little tricky. Can we... Okay, we can reach this from there. How am I gonna get... Does this reach the world? Oh, okay. Never mind. Everything's fine. Because we have biomass producers over here. We're just gonna have to, like, extend our network a little bit. This world can produce... Oh, we should pay in the repurposing project. That's good value right there. So we can get biomass from this world, but I can't do a connection straight through here. Yeah, no, this is fine. We just make this Earth like a hive world. Send the people from the hive world here to breed bacteria. Create ourselves a nice little... There we go. A forebear manufacturing depot. So it can produce resources for us. Or it can add a technology to our researchable list. Well, this is a tier 2 technology is the problem. And I think at this point... Yes, we've researched so much tech that we're no longer able to go back and do the simple stuff. So I think what we're going to do with this is just make it produce mineral and then just send that mineral down here. And that makes a Forge world successful. Hey, we're doing it. Okay. So we have all of this science and I have no idea what to do with it all. No, never mind. I do. We wanted relays. Never mind the thing I just said. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, this world will never produce another point of goods. So if we want goods for this world, we're going to have to get them somewhere else. This is going to be a whole thing. We'll figure it out. Gosh, we've got a really strange looking, sort of like stretched out network. You'd like your stuff to be built into the other stuff a little bit more than this. So one thing we could do, we now have this station producing chips and this world producing chips. So we could try to set up a chip research facility over here somewhere. Try to get our 8 science that way. Ah, that's another source. Okay. What if I did that? What if we do this? Is there a place I can put down a lab where it can receive researchers? Yeah, this is not bad actually. Chips and chips and chips. That's going to get us 5. And then we're going to buy this thing. And that's going to put it at 8. Cool. And then we have a lot of stuff here. So, stream splitting is very valuable. Right now, by default, it is the case that a relay can only be connected to 2 things. Stream splitting lets you connect it to a 3rd thing, and that doesn't sound like a big deal probably, but in practice, it really does turn out to be. Okay, so this is going to produce the goods for that. Here's what I think we do. I think we make this a scrapping operation. We produce... Oh, okay. Build it on a successful or better planet. Gets 1 happiness for every 3 science produced on this world and everything directly connected to this world. That's really interesting. Do we have any worlds that are connected to more than 1 lab or could be connected to more than 1 lab? Can you reach... Yeah, okay. So this world could be connected to 12 points of science. The other 2 labs are pretty far flung. Oh no, this world could totally be connected directly to that though. So this world's probably our science capital. Is there a reason to build it? It takes 1 month. Okay, so it does take time. But I think what we should probably do with this is build it last, like right at the end of the game, just in case things change for some reason. I don't want to commit myself. But as it looks right now, this is going to be a 5% modifier on our score, which is pretty cool. Anyway, what I was actually going to do was build a slip relay right here. There we go. Okay, we're going to relay minerals to there, which is going to make this world established, which lets us do this project, sends the goods to here, which produces an extra body from this world, which lets us power that. And now, if we take stream splitting, well, never mind. I was going to say if we take stream splitting, we can run another line from here to there, but this world is out of goods, actually. We need some water for that, or alternatively, we just need to mineralize. We need to make one of these other worlds produce minerals. Yeah, unless, let me have a look over here. If one of these is like a people world, we could send food to the people world and then people to here, and then it's not very good though, is it? Like these tiny signals are not usually planets. Yeah. This world's too far away to receive. Yeah. That's rough. Okay, well, we do have some options here. So, thing number one, the infraspace relay allows you to route slipstreams through other slipstreams in a very limited way. It's extremely powerful. But obviously, that allows us to solve this problem. We could also collapse mineral, lava, desert, or ice ball planets to just produce raw energy. Energy is a wild resource. It can do everything. Starworth's pretty good. So mineral, lava, desert, ice ball. There's a lot of worlds that are just kind of like hanging around doing nothing right now that could be helping the cause. Yeah. God, we have so many mineral worlds hanging around. You know what? Let's do it. Let's take Starbirth. I think Starbirth's going to be great for us. And then we're going to use that to finish this task. So, which Forge world do I care most about upgrading, basically, is the question. It's like, which of our Forge worlds would contribute the most to the overall network were it to become successful? This one is a couple units short of... It's like we could make a star right here. And it could feed this world and this world. We have to get goods out of this world though to make it successful. It's not trading out with enough people. That's a problem for this one too. This world has enough trade outs. You know what? You're in range, right? Yeah. Okay, no big deal. So we just feed some energy in there. Cool. 6 additional science. This one's interesting, and we will probably do this pretty easily. Just to get 3 more stars seems like a really good thing to do. It is worth noting, however, that we have already bought the most expensive Bakar tech, so we're probably not going to get a ton of value out of this. Increase total production of robots by 8 units. I don't really want to do that, honestly. We have a bunch of remnant worlds that are in, like, kind of good shape. We could make 2 remnant worlds successful, probably. Dragging 2 up to prosperous is a real challenge, though. Do we have any remnants that are close? This world is nowhere near. This world obviously is nowhere near. This world, it would be very difficult to do because we don't have a way of getting it water or of getting the minerals off of it. We have to come up with some pretty fancy tech on that one. I think this is going to be super hard to do, and this is going to be super hard to do. Where am I going to get 8 points of robots? Making this world... Oh, you know what? We can do repurposing on these worlds. Yeah, all of our goods-producing worlds could be repurposed to produce robots as well. That definitely cuts down on the amount of goods we have to produce. Let's take that, then. I think we can make these two things happen. So that'll be another 28 points of prestige for us, in addition to everything else. So first things first, this is like very easy to do. We had another goods-producing world around here somewhere. You. Also produce robot. Okay. And then we can do a little bit more connecting. I guess that's not the most critical thing. Right now we should try to finish these goals as best we can. So this can become a star. And probably should, right? Yeah, actually. That solves that problem right there. There you go. Who needs chips? So I shouldn't be connecting stuff. We should just be making these changes where we need to make them. What is your deal? You need one more import or export and one more world that you're connected to flip. That's tricky, actually, because we don't... The problem here is that we don't actually have a world for it to connect to that is capable of flipping to prosperous. Because it can't just be a world that it's connected to. It has to be a world that's actually trading with. So it has to send out a good that that world needs or receive a good that it needs. That's a problem. Well, okay, it's a problem to deal with later. Where else do we obviously need... Like, this could be a star and it would do some stuff, right? Probably. This one makes a pretty good star, actually. Yeah. Alright, so that'll accomplish that. Big tech discount. And then we're going to need robots. So, how do we want to produce more robots? Well, any world that is naturally producing robots already, we can increase its level to help with this task. So actually, if we make this produce a good, it'll send its good over to there, and then we just give it some energy. All right, so that's an additional robot. We're going to have to make at least one additional robot world, too. What produces robots in the most efficient way? Because it's pretty easy to do a robot world here, and then... Yeah, right, like send people. We have a lot of science. Planets and structures receiving energy have their production increased by 1 unit of each project. Actually, that's going to accomplish our goal right there. We are sending energy to a lot of robot worlds at the moment. So at this point, we're just completing tasks to run up the score. These I hate. I hate these very much. Gee. All right. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna unlock these other 2 world types because I want to see them. So these things are all very doable. We need chips. We need minerals. We need a lot of minerals. Gosh, this is a lot of minerals. Okay. One thing we can do to produce some minerals is this. That makes that world more effective. We want to do this as well. So that's 4 points right there. With almost no effort and making worlds successful and everything. And we flip this to prosperous in the process, which is cool. One slight downside of the energy makes extra products thing is you have to be really careful about using it on worlds that produce people, because you're potentially producing additional unemployment that way. So where else can we, let's see. Obviously, a multi-purpose factory is pretty good right now. We don't have a way of getting minerals to this world very easily. If we wait a second here, we can pick up Infraspace Mastery. We should also talk about monoliths. Monoliths, this is the other expensive Bakar tech, and it probably is the thing we're going to want to do. It just creates a big structure that needs to be fed tons of minerals. Put in 2 minerals and it turns on and grants you 2 happiness. And then each prosperous planet connected to it generates additional happiness. Since we are going out of our way to produce so many minerals, it should, in theory, be quite easy for us to benefit from this. But we're probably going to want Infraspace Mastery to really get the best play out of it, because we're just gonna need to cross some of our slipways. That's just true. Okay, we need to people world over here a little bit, because I need something to power this mine. We could wait for Infraspace to power the mine and run a human from here, run a worker from over there. So maybe I just hit the button right now. Yeah, I'm okay with that, because we want this person to be employed as well. So that's a good use of that. One thing we should probably do is explore. Can you reach this world? No, that's out of range. That's not cold enough to be collapsible into a star, which is a weird problem to have. Okay, so we do have another world over here that we could star. I'm going to wait on this until after we get the Infraspace relay up, because when you send energy to a world and it satisfies an unsatisfied need, it also replaces that need. Remember, this used to be people plus water. So if I send energy right now, the need for people will disappear, and that's not how we want to do that. And then we can send energy to here and minerals to here as well from these worlds. So that'll help with the production of chips. Cool and good. So we have to wait until we need 2 months to pass before we can do that. Well, let's produce some more chips and stuff elsewhere. It's awkward that doesn't quite reach, but we could fix it. Oh. Also, if we're talking about producing chips, we have a button that makes chips appear. And on any world that is receiving energy, we're going to get an extra chip out of that. So that is a really good way to bump that number up. Do we have any mineral producing worlds over here that aren't doing it? We sure do. These goals actually synergize very well, it turns out. Okay. Oh, I actually ran us out of money. It does happen from time to time. So we'll blow up an asteroid. That'll use a month. It does not give us enough money to do the project, though. So is there anything else we can do with this month? Another thing that's worth noting, just thinking about the end of the game, is that as our empire grows, our empire size increases. You can see at 40 planets, we'll get our next size increase. Size increases increase the amount of administration costs you're paying per planet per year, but each successive size category is worth more points at the end of the game as well. So it is actually good to drive this number up, provided you can survive the costs. So settling a new world is not a bad idea, is the point I'm making. Is there another mineral world that I really want to put down on over here? So we could do that. I'm wondering if this is better as a mineral world or as a star. I'm going to make it a mineral world. And in this case, I think I am just going to send energy. Yeah, because I don't think we want to spend a lot of time messing with this one. So we're going to grab Infraspace Mastery. Send in that. Manufacture. Connect to here. You still need one import or export. Can be done. And then this world needs to be connected to a third successful world. And if this just got water, we'd be set. It's not super easy to get water over here. Or, get out of my way. What if it was all energy all the time? So, we need one more chip. Mission complete. And then we need 4 more units of minerals still is a lot. And we're almost out of money already. I mean, it's almost the next year too. So, infraspace relays. Routes your slipstreams through infraspace, which lets you run them through normal slipways. That's a lot of money. What asteroids do we have around here that are connected to the largest number of our worlds? Okay, that one gets us 18. And then connecting this slipway will advance the year, so we'll get paid. All right. Now we make this a star. Send the energy over here. And I need 2 outputs to get this world to flip to the next size, which would give us 1 more energy. You need an import route really badly. Awesome. Great, awesome work all around. And then, yeah, how do I want to get this second export? I can't quite reach there. What I could do, we could just take stream splitting. Let's just take stream splitting. So now we can connect 1 extra thing to each relay. This will allow us to send, yeah. All right, so that gets us 1 more unit of rock. And actually, we can get some more science even. Yeah, all this world needs to become successful is more exports and stuff. So that's an export. Also, we can do this. Will it send that chip out? Is it connected to it? Yeah, yes, it is connected to a world that needs chips. So that would be 1. And then if we can get 1 more import or export, this world will flip to stage 4 and produce 1 additional mineral and finish that quest for us. So how would I get 1 more people or energy in? Obviously we have spare energy up here, but that's a distance. Do we have loose, like, unemployed workers anywhere? Not really. And I mean, obviously we want this world to be successful no matter what, right? Like it's high value to have worlds be good. This world's also pretty close. It needs 2 more imports or exports in another successful neighbor. It's not actually going to be all that easy to do. Are we close to flipping any of our mineral worlds over? Because that would really solve this problem. Where are you at? 3? Gosh. Oh, hey. Well, hold on. We can do that in a second. I just realized we could produce goods here and send them over. But I need to focus a little bit. The other thing we could do is just settle another mineral world, obviously, and that's fine. We do need to settle more worlds overall. Yeah, all right. if we're gonna do that, is there a convenient one? Our remnant would work as well. The answer is kind of no. All right, do this, get to 6, and then we just got to feed you something. We got to put in a person or an energy. So I'm looking around here for worlds that produce people well. This range is bad, right? Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, we could just... Here, we'll just collapse this and send another... Oh, never mind. I will not send another energy in there. Well then, let's use the undo button for the first time this game. I really just kind of assumed that was going to work. So is there another... There's got to be another thing requiring minerals. You're connected to that and that. And that. And that already. No, there really isn't another thing for you to connect to. Well, at the beginning of the next year, we're going to pick up the monolith tech. So maybe the actual move here is I just wait. Because once we have monolith tech, I absolutely have a thing I'm going to want to dump the minerals into, right? Yeah, so maybe we just don't finish this quest until the beginning of 3422. And instead we do... I don't know. There's got to be something around here that needs doing. We need to grow the empire a little bit. Let's grow the empire a little bit. This is not super exciting, but, you know, it's easy enough to make a world that is doing something there and that is happy. This world could use some water. Yeah, making another world successful would probably be a good idea. Here, let's collapse you into the network because you can solve some problems for us. There we go. Those worlds are happier. So, monolith tech. Oh, I didn't even look at what this does. Gain 1 happiness for every 2 units of robots or chips produced on this world and everything directly connected to it. Well, there's some fun places we're going to be able to put that down. Okay. So I'm going to do this. That's going to finish our tasks. I'm going to remember to look at... Hold on. Postpone. I just want to see what this is. What approval based on the distance separating this world from the starting wormhole. That's pretty cool. I like this. This is recent update stuff. These homeworlds, these are very neat. Okay. So now this thing gets a boost of approval for every prosperous planet it's connected to. This doesn't quite get prosperous, but it's close. I should stop. Hold on. I should stop doing things because we should take on our techs. I mean, this seems extremely doable. Will we invent 3 more technologies before the end of the game? Probably. We're gonna get science income 3 more times. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, we can absolutely do that. Whenever you're within 5 years of the end of your term, you are allowed to decline tasks because every task you've taken that you don't finish is worth negative points at the end of the game. But I don't think we're in a position where we need to do that just yet. Another thing I'm thinking is that because we have this thing, it might be worth it for us to try to do another big robot increase. If we make this a multi-purpose factory, then we make this our Bakar or our Silthid homeworld, and we connect these two. Just between those two, we're going to produce so many points of happiness. I think I'm going to go for it. we will absolutely get this done, but we won't get it done until like basically the exact end of the game. With these finished, I think we might be able to cycle into a couple more quests that we can still do. It might be greedy, but I think there's a chance. So I'm gonna do this. We're gonna probe nearby for mineral worlds, but I am absolutely okay. All right, I'm pretty happy about that. Can we? Yeah, this will totally work, right? Do you have? That's really awkward. Because we have a star here too. So we can star off the need for food if we just get the chips over here. But it can't quite reach either of the chip worlds. I mean, we could relay it. We're just going to relay it. Yeah, it's fine. So what I like about this is it gets us to the next empire size, and it means we could use star and mineral here. Okay, so we're increasing the amount of robots in the universe, which is always good. The Skill Up project increases this planet's production by 1 additional unit of each project. Does not affect people or special resources like science and energy. That's a shame. But yeah, I think we're going to take that because I think we're going to get good use out of it. When directly connected to any planet or structure with an unmet need, the Void Synthesizer will just supply that need. I want that too. I think this is going to help us accomplish our current goals, so. Because like a skill up project here is bananas, obviously. Yeah, let's do that. For our goals. And then we may just have to relay. Well, the thing is we want it to connect here, right? Because we'll get the here, let me star this. When we connect it here, we get the other unit of goods off of this world as well, which is very helpful. And then you replace the food need. Cool. This world becoming prosperous has it producing even more goods. We're gonna want to tether those. I mean, we are really cooking through the end times here. Yeah, okay. I probably want void synthesizers. Hold on a second. Let's not spend our science yet in case. We're going to try to finish these 2 missions as quickly as we can, and then we might get the research technologies mission, and we might still be able to pull it off too. So for right now, what we need to do is increase the amount of chips. Oh, you can make chips. No, sorry. We don't need chips. We need robots. Robots and energy. Energy. Yeah, that's a well-placed energy. We'll be able to make good use of that. You're already feeding Robot World. This could be a Robot World. Can you reach? Yes. Okay. Robot World. And we do this way because this way we can run the repurposing project and actually get goods to that world so that it can stop being sad. All right, now I need any more robots. So that's how we supply that. Chips in, cool. And then I need to star 1 more planet somewhere, and it kind of probably doesn't matter where. Okay. So we're in our final year. At the end of this year, we have 10 months to finish the game. Maybe. These are both no's. This is a maybe, and it's worth 21 points or 21 prestige if we can pull it off. So get it to 7. What does it take to get to 7? It's going to be 4 points of research without the project. Are we already studying robots somewhere? We are, aren't we? Chips, blue stuff, red stuff, green stuff. No, we're not studying robots anywhere. That's interesting. We have so much to do. I don't know if I'm being efficient here with our time because there's a lot of things we can do. So worker plus robot plus project gets to 6. Like this, a lab right here almost does everything. And that would cost us 2 months, 3, 4, 5 with the connections. And then we'd have to connect another world that is producing robots or a world that has people on it in some way. I'm pretty sure you can't send energy to labs. Otherwise, that would be a good way to do this. But I think maybe we just don't take a tech or take a new challenge, and we instead spend our time just like finishing things up and making the stuff we have good. Because there's a bunch of worlds we have that are not quite prosperous. And I don't know if it says it on here anywhere. It doesn't. But at the end of the game, part of our score is going to be determined by the prosperity level of each of our worlds. Prosperous worlds are worth twice as much as established worlds, so we really want to flip blue as many of these as possible. And we have to get our homeworlds established. I think we don't have the time to do that. So let's do the homeworld thing. I think there is no possible way that it makes sense for the Vittori homeworld to be anything other than this planet connected to here. 6%, pretty cool. Then the Silthid Industrial Hub right here, 10 approval, pretty nice. And the wormhole's down here, so it's gonna be this world. This is our Bakar world, right? Or is this gonna be slightly further? I guess we can actually check this. Oh, the world has to be successful. Yeah, your problem is you have no outputs. Can I fix that fast enough? We can make this world successful or established. We can do that. It'll send that out, and then we feed it this energy. Okay. What's that? 8? 8's pretty good. Okay, so now let's focus on flipping worlds to prosperous where possible. And also it'd be great if it was worlds that are easy to connect to this or are already connected to it. You need 2 imports or exports. That's pretty tough. I mean, we can send you energy. And also, we have these. So we have 85 science. We can research a lot of stuff. Void synthesizers, the mind control project allows us to, this is a thing we can just build on any world that has spare people, and it will kill the unemployment penalty. So that's probably a good thing to pick up. I think this is probably a good idea. And then you need to import or export 1 time. This world's currently successful. I'm trying to figure out, we have 3 months left. It takes 1 month to build an infraspace relay and then 1 month to connect to one side of it and 1 month to connect to the other. So I'm trying to see if there's a good relay situation here where we can flip this world and something else simultaneously. If you could pay out to 1 world that is successful, you would flip. Same deal to you. So I need... we don't have any spare people in, really. Well, we have this. And this world will become successful with a single export. So that would be pretty good. Yeah. So I think the right final move is something like this. I'm just kind of curious here. Is there a version of this where I could connect it to both? No, not really. Okay. So connecting this to here will end the game. It will make this world connected to a third successful world, and it will be an import. So this flips to successful, this flips to prosperous, this flipping to prosperous adds 1% to the monolith. But before we do that and end the game, we should... Oh, I'm broke. Ha! Never mind. I was going to say, we should go around to all of our worlds that have unemployed people on them and mind control the unhappiness out of them, but we actually can't. So, yeah, we'll just do that. So, as you can see here, planets, 320 stars for each prosperous world, 160 for each successful, 80 for each established. Our legacy... That's what this is called. Blue is legacy. Each legacy is worth 50 stars. Empire size of colossal was worth 2,000 stars, multiplied by our happiness of 152%, with an extra 10% bonus multiplicative for the tricky prosperity condition, gets us 28k, which is a score that is fine. It's lower than I like to see on a reasonable run. But like I said, I'm a little rusty. This is a weird shape. And we're definitely not, like, part of the problem I was having there at the end is we had a lot of profitable moves, but I don't have a good sense of which moves are more profitable than the others necessarily. And so it may be the case that without even much shuffling around, I could have just spent like the last 2 years in a different way and increased our score considerably. Like, we have all of this energy hanging around here. I bet we could have done stuff with that. Whatever, I'm not going to stress about it too much. That's what Slipways is. By this point in the video, you definitely know whether this is your kind of thing or not. If it is your kind of thing, for real, I encourage you to go buy it. The sound dropped out because I'm going to Steam right now and looking up the price because it's not very many dollars, and this game is excellent for the kind of people who like this kind of thing, one of which is me. 14 and a half USD. I do not have a good sense of what that is in other currencies. Yeah, Slipways. It's really, really, really good. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time on Monday, we'll be back to doing all the normal stuff that we're doing right now, whatever series those are. And we'll see you then.